Mojo!
It's Mojo memorization time again, and today we're going to move some active transport facts into your long-term memory. It's short and sweet, but has lovely visual elements in it that will stick into your visual memory. So let's get started. Say what you want about train spotters, but you can't deny they are committed. However, there is one amongst them who even train spotters think of as a legend. Always on the platform, his handle is Active Train Spot. He loves it so much he would say that it really moves him. So this story is about the process of active transport, a process dissolved molecules use to move across a cell membrane in a particularly special way. Active transport moves substances from a more dilute solution to a more concentrated solution against a concentration gradient. There's only so long you can concentrate without refreshment. For active train spot, to keep his mind on the railway, he needs extra concentrated squash to give him that sugar buzz. Sadly, active transport's wife packs him off every day with a bottle of very dilute watery squash. Imagine your refreshing bright orange squash instead slopping about the colour of a very healthy wee. So, now every morning, Active Train Spot has started to make his dilute solution more concentrated when he arrives at the station. Active Train Spot likes to say that it helps him to work against the concentration gradient, by which he means that train spotting is so boring, and without his squash his concentration would reduce over time. Active transport requires energy from respiration. The process of concentrating his squash isn't easy. It requires energy. Active Train Spot draws this energy from another hobby, watching spires being put back on churches. It's called respiration. Active transport allows sugar molecules to be absorbed from lower concentrations in the gut into the blood, which has a higher sugar concentration. Sugar molecules are used for cell respiration. For the purposes of memorising biology GCSE facts, it's interesting to note that the process going on inside Active Train Spot's gut is exactly the same as the process that he is doing with his squash on the platform. He's using energy to make dilute squash more concentrated. And once he drinks the squash, his body absorbs the sugars from his gut, where there's a low concentration of sugar, and moves them into his blood, which has a higher concentration. That's active transport, that is. Once Active Train Spot's blood has absorbed all the sugar, he uses this rush of energy to try and sell the excitement of respiration to the other travellers on the platform. Not an easy task, I can tell you. So the sugar molecules are used to sell respiration. Get it? Active transport allows mineral ions to be absorbed into plant root hairs from very dilute solutions in the soil. Sometimes the active train spotter gets tired of correcting his wife's dilute drink. Instead, he just chucks his very dilute squash solution into the plant pot by the station cafe. Now, it's a little-known fact, but lurking in the plant pots at railway stations are mini relatives of the majestic African lion. The station lions are called the mini rail lions. Mineral lions, get it? Although they're mini, their bite is really painful and they are particularly keen to bite train spotters. Luckily for Active Train Spot, in the plant pot, the plant root hairs absorb all the mini rail ions from the dilute squash in the soil. Crisis averted, biology memorised. And that's it. I'd like to start by apologising for the fact that we picked on train spotters in this story. The content you need is on the screen and on the downloadable sheets. Do the quiz straight away. It'll force you to recall the story elements, and that is a process that strengthens memorisation. The worksheet does the same thing. Then there is the Mojo Minute for when you just need to have a concentrated dose of this story. Concentrated. We'll be in touch by email to let you know when to re-watch this video, but in the meantime, thanks for using your imagination.